Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. The thing is, I I almost wasn't gonna actually do the review. Getting late, getting tired, and honestly, to tell you the truth, there was one point where I actually just wasn't feeling good. But I really wanted to watch it because this week days have been on fire as far as the storyline is going. And I knew stuff was going to go down between today and tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? I at least got to sit there and watch it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to sit there and talk about it. Now, this isn't going to be the typical review. I'm just going to kind of give some highlights of what I thought about the episode. It's usually kind of like a review recap, but this is going to be a little bit different. Um, Start with Leo for a minute. Leo got exposed, and I'm going to be honest. I don't feel bad for Leo, and I don't feel bad for Craig. I feel bad that he had to be embarrassed in front of all his friends. I feel bad that when Jackie came through, this was like literally last second. Um, when Jackie, first of all, they tried to stop the wedding on the basis of the fact that he was still married to Jackie, or I forgot his actual like name, but he was still married to Jackie. Now he said he did this because Jackie lived in Canada, and the only way that he can work here is to be married. So at first Craig was like, you know what, I'm not exactly a fan of like how you did it, but I understand that you did it because you're looking out for your friend. And at one point, I was like, listen, I don't know Leo's history. I don't know all the stuff that he's done. So I can't sit there and be like, well, it's just Leo being Leo. Like, for me, I'm coming in with a fresh perspective. I'm like, you know what? Listen, that was kind of a crappy thing you did by lying, but I understood why you did what you did. And at one point, Brady and Chloe's like, yo, you can't still go through with this, right? Oh, even I think Bonnie and Nancy kind of chime in, but Craig is ready to forgive him. And two, Jackie starts exposing more stuff, talking about the only reason why um Leo decided to marry him was for money. That he saw him as a mark from day one, and you know, just kind of talked a little. I wasn't to say kind of greasy about him, but just kind of treat him more as a mark than anything else. Now Leo was like, yeah, in the beginning, but then I fell in love with you, and yada yada yada. And at one point, I'm sitting there thinking, are you actually about to forgive him? Now I'm actually having a sense of deja vu, and it's weird, but I feel like I've literally told this specific review. It's just weird. Now it literally just came to me. Anyway, what the hell am I? I'm sitting there thinking Craig is about to literally take him back and go through with this marriage. And hell, and a couple of times even Gwen was like, kind of try to defend him. Um, but at that point, Craig was done. He walked off. Nancy wanted to sit there and try to help, console him. But I was like, Nancy, no, 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 no. You came to this wedding with your head held high, because of Clyde. You need to follow through with that. Okay, the fact that this jackass actually asked you to the wedding in the first place is just what? So again, I I I want to feel bad for him. I wanted to feel bad for him because, to be honest, I don't really like seeing a lot of people in pain, even when I feel like they deserve it. But in this case, I'm like, bro, you did this to yourself. Okay, you had everyone in town, even people that didn't know you, tell you about Leo, and you still was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna sit there and be with him. And it sucks because from Craig's standpoint, you can sit there and look at it like people can change. People can sit there and grow. They can change. They can be a different person. But the way that Craig handled this whole thing, this is another reason why I don't feel bad for him. You felt a certain way about men for quite a while. And at any point in time, you didn't bother to sit there and tell Nancy. You cheated on her. And then you try to make everything like, oh, well, this divorce seems pretty standard. Like, bro, you got kids with this woman. You built a life with this woman. They even sit there and say, well, this is pretty standard. And then be like, hey, let's have a drink. Let's go down memory lane. Oh, let me top it off. You want to come to my wedding? With the guy who I was cheating on you with? Come on, for old time's sake. So when I look at this whole as a whole, look at this thing as a whole, bro, nah, bro. I can't. I can't look at that and feel sorry for him. I want to, but I can't do it. Chloe does come over there and try to consult him. Gwen was like, "Oh, why'd you have to sit there and do it in public?" And I'm like, kind of yes and kind of no. But at this point, Gwen, you really are the last person to be talking about anything because, um, there's a point where Jack is in the room with Gwen, and Gwen is talking about how she loves her dad, and Jack is being all loving and just fatherly like, and Abby had to sit through that whole thing, and just bite her tongue. Okay, so I give her an enormous amount of credit because any other person being like, oh hell no. Um, Towards the end of the episode, it looked like Jennifer was about to say something to Jack. As far and Chad, as far as what's going on with Gwen. Now, the whole time, Abby Smith there waiting for a call from the DA because she still don't got anything. She still don't got everything finalized. So this way, Ava could sit there and give her the rest of the dirt on Gwen. But towards the end of the episode, she gets that call, and Gwen was like, "Well, I guess we could sit there and still get married." And at that point, Abby was like, "Nah, that ain't happening." I am so looking forward to tomorrow's episode. I am so looking forward to tomorrow's episode. I'm sitting there thinking, what kind of dessert do I want to have with this episode? Because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. this this deserves cake level. Okay, this deserves cake level. If you don't know what I'm talking about, cake level, this is something I did with GH as far as the downfall of Nina Reeves, or just her exposure, which, to be honest, it kind of turned out a little bit more flatter. But the point is, I hyped up this whole thing. I was like, we're gonna have a cake party. We're gonna sit there and talk about it. And I feel like this is um, another one of those events. So kind of sitting there thinking about tomorrow what I want to sit there and get. But I don't know. It should be good either way. Let's see if I didn't forget too much of anything else. I think that's about it. Like I said, this isn't one of my usual reviews. It was usual reviews kind of like recap. This is just like my quick thoughts about what I thought about the episode. Because again, it was super late, super tired. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I started to just not feel good. But I was like, I'm gonna sit there and at least watch it. And when I saw like the thumbnail, I was like, oh, it's going down. It's like it's going down. It may not be the full thing, but I knew because I think one of my subscribers named Shakira Smith they telling me that the Gwen stuff was gonna happen on Thursday. And since it was gonna be a double wedding, well, we knew somebody was gonna go down just by this whole thing. I felt it. So I was like, I want to sit there and at least talk about that. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. I know this came out super late. I had a day. Um, so I really appreciate everyone's patience. Just watching it in general. Like, this is just my favorite part of the day is to sit there and just talk about this stuff because even when the episode sucks, it's fun to talk about it. And then when the episode's good, well, just makes talking about it even that much better. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. And I'll see you in the next video.